tonight.
It basically lowers all the import tariffs and should be fantastic in terms of spurring on more trade.
What the revamped TPP agreement means for Canadian farmers. Plus,
this is going to be a unique and a great opportunity for our city.
City Council says they have an answer to meet the deadline for the city's wastewater treatment plant.
This is Newcap News with Michaela Henshaw.
Good evening. One man is dead and another seriously injured following an accident near Kitscoty yesterday. It happened around 6:15 last night on Highway 897, about 1 mile north of Highway 16. Police say their initial investigation has determined a northbound pickup truck was passing two other vehicles and proceeded to hit the back of a third vehicle. The driver then lost control and hit the ditch. He suffered life-threatening injuries and was flown with STARS ambulance to Edmonton. The passenger was located deceased at the scene. The crash remains under investigation. Well, Canada is agreeing with its Asian counterparts to sign off on the new look Trans-Pacific Partnership. The deal was in jeopardy when the Americans walked away from the Group of 12. Gerard Lampow tells us why there's excitement in ag circles now that Canada has a shoe-in.
It basically lowers all the import tariffs and should be fantastic in terms of spurring on more trade, especially with the amount of Canadian cattle that are exported.
Lee Creech is based in Denver, but his home ranch is MC Quantock Livestock just north of Lloydminster. He was one of the participants at this week's Cow-Calfonomics who heard market analyst Ann Wasco break the news about the revamped TPP.
As time goes forward, then all 11 countries in TPP will see tariff rates drop down to, as far as beef's concerned, get down towards 9%.
In 2016, Canada sold $115 million in beef to Japan. For 2017, even though final numbers are not yet in, there was a 28% increase in Canadian beef exports going to Japan, making the Asian jewel our #2 market after the United States. With TPP, the increase in beef over time is pegged at over $200 million. With the 38.5% tariff on the way out, Canadian cattlemen are breathing easier.
For Canadian producers, we'll have access, preferential access to the Japanese market, and that's access that our competitors in Australia already have. So we will regain our competitive balance with Australia, and we will gain a competitive advantage over our counterparts selling U.S. beef into the Japanese market, because they will remain at a higher tariff level.
A possible signing seems set for March, and Maswal is hopeful, if the agreement can go through Parliament this year, that TPP could be in place by 2019. In terms of dealing with cultural and other issues that may be of concern to Canadians, Maswal thinks the government has found a way to handle it.
I think there was a very real debate that was going on within Ottawa about things that they knew was beneficial for Canada in the agreement, but there were some changes that Canada was seeking in terms of cultural protection.
Issues like intellectual property and origin of content were also sticking points, and as well value-added sectors that rely on agriculture, like food and beverage manufacturers, can all press the reset button. Kitscoty producer Gord King is excited for TPP and is eyeing the increasing demand for beef here at home and abroad.
Like Walmart now has jumped aboard. They want Canadian beef. They've jumped aboard with the Angus. McDonald's, they want the Canadian beef. They jumped on board with it.
Gerard Lampow, Newcap News.
Well, it's been a week since Beer Canada announced a campaign to try and stop rising beer taxes. But according to one local Lloydminster brewery, smaller breweries shouldn't worry too much. Fourth Meridian Brewing is a local brewery and tap house. Being a smaller brewery, owner Helen Hoffman feels they won't be as heavily affected.
When you have increasing taxes, it makes it difficult, I guess, for your business to be as profitable as you want it to be. But in this case, it's not really a huge, it's not going to make a huge impact on our business, in my opinion. I think it's fairly small, so I think we'll still be okay.
The rising taxes, however, do make being a brewery in the border city increasingly harder. And according to Hoffman, that's where the real difficulties lie.
We went through a lot of steps to get our beer into Saskatchewan, and just to get it to go across the highway was not an easy process at all. So we incur a lot of extra costs just trying to get our beer to go 20 feet.
You can read more about Beer Canada's campaign at the website axthebeertax.ca. Well, a new method for administrating the construction of the wastewater treatment plant was presented to Council this week. The revamp is intended to speed up the process to meet the December 2020 deadline while providing more opportunities for local partnership on the project. Josh Ryan has more.
Given the time constraints placed on the City of Lloydminster by the provincial and federal governments, a new method for completing the wastewater treatment plant project on time was needed. Now it appears Council has an answer.
This is going to be a unique and a great opportunity for our city. I think that, administration, we've talked about it a little bit already, about the opportunities to be involved at the front door of something new to our city, but something not new to the industry.
An integrated project delivery method was suggested by administration. It's unique in that key members, such as design consultants, contractors, and owners, have to work together to deliver the finished product.
This is going to be a much more open concept to those players at the table, including the city, and we'll agree to a level of profit with those individuals and companies, and they'll work towards that.
In addition to the increased transparency and time saved, this could also benefit local businesses through supplies or on-site work.
But I'm sure there's going to be options galore for local contractors, from earthwork to concrete to electrical.
The next step is to revise the owner's engineer agreement with ISL Engineering. Afterwards, it's what will come from government funding.
Waiting patiently. I've been in contact with our local MLAs. I've been in contact with the minister's offices in both Alberta and Saskatchewan. There is dialogue, I understand, going on, but we wait for an announcement.
Josh Ryan, Newcap News.
A local nonprofit was presented with a grant by MLA Richard Starkey. Starkey presented the money to the Olive Tree on behalf of the government of Alberta.
We are very grateful for the opportunity that they gave us to be able to apply, and it worked out perfectly with our capital campaign. So the funds of $125,000 went directly to that, to completing the renovations and being able to actually open and have all of our programs run out of this building.
The Olive Tree provides community aid and outreach in Lloydminster, a cause that MLA Starkey and the provincial government are happy to help with.
So I was actually very excited when I saw that the Olive Tree was making an application under the Community Facility Enhancement Program. $125,000 is the maximum amount that they can apply for, so they were successful in securing the maximum possible. So that is also it's a real testimony to the work that they are doing.
The Community Facility Enhancement Program the Olive Tree received is lottery funded and is not funded by taxpayer dollars. Well, some students at St. Mary's got to learn from someone other than their teacher as they took part in a unique interactive learning program. As we see in this week's Beyond the Classroom, the program not only goes hand in hand with their science curriculum, but it also has students thinking twice about the environment.
Inside Education is a nonprofit charity that provides environmental and natural resource education all across Alberta. On Wednesday, students at St. Mary's had the opportunity to take part.
We reach thousands of students in a year, and we reach students all across Alberta. And we do classroom programming this time of year, but then in the spring and in the fall, we do forest field programs where students are actually bussed out to forest field sites.
The program is designed to be interactive and teaches students about different topics like energy and electricity, as well as Alberta agriculture and forests.
Gave us like a little science lesson about the earth and like about the forest, and that like we own some of it, and like how there's animals who live in it, and the oil comes from the ground.
Sometimes having someone come in who's a specialist at their job, it just gives them more knowledge than I might have been able to share with them.
Not only does the program go in depth about the topics taught in the classroom, but it gives students background knowledge as they move forward to make earth-conscious decisions.
It's important because it's part of the students' curriculum, but also because we're, trying to make informed students who know lots of things on these topics.
the world is in their hands as they get older, and to gain as much knowledge about our environment and how to protect our forests and things like that is crucial for them.
For grade 5 student Madison, the message was clear.
To take care of the forest and like not hurt the forest and the animals that are in there.
This is Newcap Sports.
Well, Lakeland College wrestlers court teams had a great first half of the season with 3 of the 4 in first place in the ACAC North, but one stands out above all others. Lance Phillips and Chris King are talking about GOAT in tonight's edition of The Gloves Are Off, and the wrestlers women's volleyball team are firmly entrenched in the mix.
Thank you very much. Kinger, let's first talk about this tie real quick. This is a beauty.
Yeah, this is my Australian tie brought back from my parents when they were down there. And obviously Australian Day on Friday, we have 3 Aussies on our team. So I'm wearing it for the show for the girls, and then I'll wear it on Friday for the game just to represent for our
What do you got on there? You got some kangaroo action?
I got some kangaroos, some koalas. The stinkiest animal in the world, by the way.
The koala is the stinkiest animal in the world.
It's disgusting. I couldn't even hold it. They smell so bad. And it looks like a croc. So
what is that thing flying? Is that
a boomerang?
Okay, let's actually get on topic here. It's a beautiful tie. Okay, wrestlers. Let's talk wrestlers for a second here. The women's volleyball team just destroyed Keano. Played as Austin Dyer said, the best volleyball he's ever seen. Look at this team is 16-0. They've won a national championship. They're on their way to winning another one. Is this the best wrestlers team ever?
It will be if they get the result they want.
They're the best wrestlers team ever, right?
I think Coach Dyer is going to tell you it'll be the best team if they win nationals.
They already won it though.
Last year, that was last year.
It's the same team.
I know, but maybe something goofs up. Hopefully not. They have a chance to go undefeated and win a national championship undefeated, which never, ever happens.
Best team ever. Tom Brady, best quarterback ever, best football player ever.
Quarterback, yes, most likely. Better than Montana.
Most likely. Who's better?
Montana's the only guy that I could stack up. I hate giving it to the Pats, but yes, he's got 5 rings.
Stop
he's going to
being
have
a
6.
fan for a minute and speak.
No, I dislike the Patriots.
Well, you can't dislike what the man has done.
I respect the greatness of Tom Brady. Tom's been amazing. He's old. He's still getting it done. He looked pretty good, actually, all weekend. So.
He is the best quarterback that has ever played in the NFL, and I am saying this, that he is the best football player of all time.
He could be. When it's all said and done, I think he'll be 1 or 2. I have a hard time. Jerry Rice changed the game in receiving.
Tom Brady he's been to the Super Bowl 8 times. He's won it 5. He may win it 6.
We know where Lance stands.
Blue Jays, NFL, Cavaliers all coming up on The Gloves Are Off tonight.